getting through the passing of Aunt, like
Yeah.
getting through that, it was definitely a very, very rough time for me personally and all of like my friends and his friends. The whole situation has shaped me to just be like really like not take things for granted and realize that like things can flip in an instant and
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen, because I've learned so many things from his passing and like taking so many things away from our friendship. And like I don't know, I thought it's just really helped me become a better person for myself and for others.
And
Yeah.
like, but that grief does not go away. It's just your
No.
life grows around it.
Exactly. You learn how to cope and you
Yes.
learn how to deal with it, but it definitely doesn't go away. Like it's
Yeah.
taking that energy and like all that grief and everything and turning it into something good. I'm focusing on trying to better myself, and I know that he's like watching. I know he's watching down, and
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to be the best fit for myself and make him proud as well.
This is the true story of teens
brave enough to drop the mask
and get real about mental health. Teens struggle more than we see, and a voice carries the power of change.
Life as a teen can be hard, and sharing really helps.
You're listening to Teen Voices on The Endurance Show,
a space where teens share real struggles, real stories, and real growth. Real teens, real talk,
no scripts,
and no filters.
This is Teen Voices.
This is Teen Voices.
This is Teen Voices.
Hey, welcome back to the Endurance Show at Teen Voices. Here with Ash and Kai.
Hello.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna start off. So Kai, can you share about Anthony and how his story has affected your life and what you learned from it?
Of course, man. It's a lot. I met Anthony probably when I was a sophomore in high school, kind of through like mutual friends, and he always stood out as this just like insanely hardworking, very devoted, very disciplined kid. And I was like, wow. It just like stood out to me because I had some of the very like similar values, but they just weren't like, I guess, brought out as much.
Totally.
And I feel like just like building my relationship and connection with Ant kind of brought those values out and like more in me, I guess you can say. And I don't know, just like becoming like closer and closer with him, it just like brought it out more and more, and like almost it made me like take action in my own life, just like seeing what he was doing. And I thought that was probably the biggest takeaway I had from being a friend of his. And I think that it was just such a valuable friendship, and I learned so much from him that it's just like through the roof. I just couldn't explain like all of the different like outlooks, different like all just everything. There's
That's
so
beautiful.
much.
Yeah. What was kind of like your favorite moment in your guys' friendship?
My favorite moment, to be honest, it probably wasn't the happiest one, but this was one right after I had broken up with my girlfriend, and I was still like really going through it, processing all the emotions and everything. And we were at this party one time, and I remember just becoming really overwhelmed and just like couldn't deal with my emotions by myself. So I just like went outside and kind of like sat on like I think it was the curb, and no one really noticed that I was gone for a while. But I remember Ant calling me, and I was like, oh. And so I picked up, and he's like, hey, where are you at? You haven't been around for a bit. And I told him kind of like what was going on.
Yeah.
And he just came and like sat with me, and just like really like I was just talking to him like we were talking about earlier. Like I was just able to talk to him about how I was feeling and just like get those emotions out and like have someone to like, I guess, rely on. And he was there and like said the perfect things and just like gave me like perfect insight and like what I should do and like how I should handle it. And I just think that was a very opening moment to like our friendship and kind of just who I was as a person.
Absolutely. That's honestly really awesome. How do you like navigate difficult emotions now? I know you mentioned like sharing them with Anthony, and like what like kind of daily habits and rituals you have like around that.
I think I've practiced. I don't do these all the time, and I'm trying to get better and better at them, but I'm practicing just like taking 10 minutes out of my day to just like sit with myself and sit with my thoughts and like see how I'm genuinely feeling and not like masking my feelings up, but seeing like what I'm feeling at that moment or like what I'm stressed about, and kind of just like acknowledging those thoughts and not letting them like get covered up. And I think just taking that time of silence, I think listening to music is definitely a way of navigating these difficult emotions, because it helps I guess almost relate, because like some of the music you listen to could be sad, or it really depends on what you listen to. So I definitely focus on listening to like happier and more upbeat music when I'm feeling down, to kind of counteract the feelings. And yeah, just going out, being with friends if I'm not feeling the best, like definitely like processing the emotions, but like when I feel ready, going out and just like being with my friends and being social. I feel like that's the best way to, for me at least, to handle that.
Yeah, I feel like that's really difficult to like sit with your emotions.
For
Like I
sure.
definitely had trouble with that. Yeah, I feel like navigating them, I think helping like writing them out really helps.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, definitely like talking to friends,
Journaling.
journaling, just like getting them out in some way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Being able to like put, like, I guess, get them out of your body. It almost feels like relieving
Exactly.
pressure from you.
Yep.
I think that's a very important,
honestly,
important part.
I think like in terms of like daily habits, like I really like to take a walk once a day.
Yes.
Like in my program that I'm doing for my mental health currently, we always take a walk every day.
Awesome.
And that's been super helpful. It's like right in La Jolla, so like we always go by the beach and see the sea lions.
Yes.
So it's like super awesome.
Yeah. I was gonna say, similar to walking, I used to run a lot, and that was another thing that Aunt really got me to do.
Yeah.
And I thought that just like running, even with music or without music, I think running without music, it helps me like process my emotions, but I'm also like actively doing something, so it's like I'm not just like being drowned by my emotions.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm able to like process them, but like be able to focus on something else at the same time. And then
like,
listening to music, it's kind of similar, but like just another distraction, but something where I can put those emotions and kind of help deal with them.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself time to emotionally regulate before you like face those like very difficult emotions.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So kind of going in a little bit deeper, like what's something you're proud of surviving, and how has it shaped who you are today?
Something that I'm proud of surviving, I would say just getting through the passing of Aunt. Like getting through that, it was definitely a very, very rough time for me personally and all of like my friends and his friends. But I think like connection was a very, very big part of how we were all able to manage and deal with the emotions, and like just being there for one another and being there to talk with them, or just even not talking, just like being there and like having that like that person's like what's the word for it, just like their presence, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
And I think like the whole situation has shaped me to just be like really like not take things for granted, and realize that like things can flip in an instant, and you never know what's going to happen. So I think it's really important to cherish every moment of your life, good or bad, because it's always going to change for the better or for the worse. But I think in the end, you definitely just have to take the time and like find the clarity in those situations. And I think that's really, really helped me, because I've learned so many things from his passing, and like taking so many things away from our friendship. And like, I don't know, I thought it's just really helped me become a better person for myself and for others.
Yeah, I think that's so inspiring and honestly very admirable.
Thank you.
I know it must have been so difficult. Like I lost my dad when I was 16 to a ruptured aorta. It was very quick, and that like sudden change really can be so difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and obviously like I'm like so grateful that you're here talking about like Aunt's passing, and like talking about that grief, because that really like uses that like honestly so heartbreaking moment and turning it into something that can help and save so many other people.
Exactly. I think,
and that is so empowering.
Yeah, I think another big thing, like going off of what you're saying, is taking that energy and like all that grief and everything and turning it into something good. And I know Aunt and or Neil and Samara used to always talk about that, how like using all this energy and putting it somewhere, and like putting it somewhere good, like with the endurance show. Like this is like all stemmed from Aunt, and I think it's really amazing how far it's gotten already, and just like putting it to something good in life.
It was so like, I was obviously very honored to be on this podcast, and I'm so honored to be talking to you. So honestly, that's like really great. I think grief shapes us, and like what you said, like to be grateful and not to take things for granted.
Exactly.
Valuing like every moment you have with people. It's definitely like taught me to really cherish friendships and relationships that I have. Yeah.
It's very important. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. What advice would you give to your younger self and why?
Ooh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, I like this question.
I would say, honestly, not take things too seriously. Like some things, obviously, yes, take them with a grain of salt, but like, I don't know, everything will pass over time, and I've realized that like things that I wouldn't get through or situations that wouldn't pass, and it over time they've slowly faded or like stuff like that. And I think that just like giving yourself time and space to like reconcile and just kind of be there for yourself, but like realize that like you'll make it through the situation as long as you just give it that time and just believe that it will get better.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something that I could definitely have used when I was younger, but over time I've learned.
Yeah, I think like I would probably tell myself like to be like grateful for what I have, because like definitely like growing up and like losing a lot like from like my past, like it's definitely like again like taught me to be like grateful and everything. And also I would like definitely tell my younger self to appreciate myself, to be appreciative of everything that you have, and just like really take care of yourself, because that's the way you're gonna live your best life and get through life with your best interests at heart. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think just like in the future, like you'll still be there, and like I don't know, just like things change though. So I think like taking appreciation of like this little things in life, and like I wish I would have known to like appreciate all these small things, like being in elementary school, not having a lot of schoolwork, like to that extent, like you never know like where life's gonna go, and honestly just like appreciating what you have now, and like I guess not needing more, like being filled or like feeling full with what you have now.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids and teens are like so anxious to grow up because it comes with freedom, but it also comes with so much responsibility.
And you don't realize that
exactly, and so many hardships. And I definitely wish that I wasn't so eager to grow up and just lived my childhood when I could.
Yeah. I feel like that's a big part in a lot of kids, because like they're exactly like you were saying, they're so eager to grow up and have all this freedom, but like this freedom is a little scary sometimes. So I don't know.
It can be scary.
That's definitely something that I've thought about a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. Adulting is hard.
It is. Yeah. That's not a lie.
Yeah. No. How do you celebrate resilience in yourself or others, and why is it meaningful?
I think just like going out and being with friends, like we did this a lot. After Anne's passing, we would all just like try to get together and just like celebrate like the little things, and like just getting together and like being there for one another. And I think it was common for our friends, like one person would like host most of us out of the group, and we'd all just go hang out in someone's house. And I think just like being together was like a celebration of just like everyone was like there for each other, even if they didn't say it. Like you knew like everyone was close enough where you can go to someone without having to worry like, oh, is this person gonna like judge me, or like will they actually care about me? And I think everyone was very like unique, and everyone was like you're saying, the quality over quantity. All those friends were very just, they had the qualities there. And I think that was a big part, just everyone getting together. Or what else? We would go out to dinner sometimes, just like really group dinners. Absolutely. I think that was definitely a celebration that we enjoyed a lot. Or just being in nature, honestly, like doing the things we loved. That was probably the biggest celebration.
Yeah, I think that's like so incredible that you like continue to celebrate him, because a lot of people, when it comes to grief, like people expect you to be over it. Like very quickly. Like within the first month, people will be like reaching out to you, giving you stuff, like offering support, and then when it comes like to those like other months and like as it goes on
it
fades away. Exactly. And like but that grief does not go away. It's just your life grows around it.
Exactly. You learn how to cope and you learn how to deal with it, but it definitely doesn't go away, like you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think for me, I like celebrate resilience in myself. Just like for being here, I've definitely had like a tough time with my mental health. But it's been a journey that I wouldn't change for the world.
Yeah.
I'm very, very thankful to be here. And for still like trying to keep recovering. I'm doing like a lot of work on my mental health.
That's amazing.
And I'm very, very glad that I'm continuing to work on it. Yeah.
I think that's really great that you have that perspective of your journey as well, because some people may be ashamed of it or honestly like that, but I think it's something that not everyone goes through, and God only puts that in places for people that are able to handle it, and like I think it just shows the strength that you've been through and like how you've built it up. So I think it's amazing.
And same with you, especially like for being here, like that shows so much strength and like
thank you.
So inspirational, like literally. So like what small wins or progress have helped you feel grounded, and can you give an example?
I think small wins, as small as like just going for a run, like that helps me feel grounded and like almost like closer with Ant in a way, because he was always such an avid runner.
That's beautiful.
And I feel like that just me running a little bit just gets me that much closer to him. And I think that's like it's a small like progress, but it feels like a big celebration, because like I don't know, like getting done with the run, the natural dopamine that hits your brain, all of that, it's just like a good feeling. And then knowing that I'm doing something good for my body, and it's just a whole benefit. So I'm just glad I'm able to do that, go outside, like completing homework, all the small accomplishments. I feel like those are something that you should never take for granted, and always compliment yourself and like encourage yourself to keep doing those small things, because they build up, and it's you don't notice it as much, but definitely builds up with the small accomplishments.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think small wins that I celebrate is like, for me, I've had a very hard time like staying clean when it comes to self-harm, and like just like taking it day by day has been super helpful for me. And also like in terms of grief, I think taking things day by day and continuing to get up and move on and working with and continuing for Ant, I think that is awesome and something to be very, very proud of. I
think taking small steps, like you were saying, is very important, because the journey, whatever you're going through, whatever you're facing, like it could seem like such a long time till like the outcome, but like I think taking the small steps and looking at it as like a day by day or hour by hour, however you want to look at it, I think that's very important, to not overlook the journey and kind of enjoy the journey instead
and it's
of
like realize like how far you have come. And like even if it is just day by day, it's still a day, and that it means so much.
Because I think a lot of people, they'll be focused on the outcome and like the reward, but then they forget about where they've come from and where they started from. And I think that enjoying the journey is more important than enjoying the outcome, the reward.
Absolutely, I 100% agree, because that's like when you heal and when you grow as a person. Is there anything else like you would like to share about Ant? Anything you're comfortable with?
I think honestly, just like his impact on like the discipline and like how his outlook on life really like I guess shaped me to like find my own like values and things that I want to strive for. And one of those big things is running, because like I never was a big runner. I always played soccer like throughout my life, but I was never like attracted to just like physically running in a straight line for a long period of time. And I would come to school and I would see Ant like walking, and I like ask him like what he did this morning, and he'd tell me he went on like a 9-mile run. And I'm like, before school you're doing this? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like waking up this early, finding the motivation, the discipline to just go out there and run 9 miles before school, let alone.
Absolutely.
And he just told me how he explained to me how he found the joy in running, and like how like the uncomfortable feeling of it, just like he found like joy, and he liked doing it because of the uncomfortability. And that just showed me like, wow, you can really start to enjoy these like not so fun things, but like in a different way, I guess, because like he's working to better himself and become like, he wanted to become a Marine or like a Navy SEAL, I believe. And that was one of the big trainings, was swimming and running. So he'd always go on very long swims and then runs. And I think that just motivated me to like enjoy the thing, like the progress that you're making, because it all builds up to the outcome. And I think like enjoying, like we were saying earlier, enjoying the journey is very, very important, because that's where it all builds from and stems from.
What's something that like you've been like on a journey towards, and like something that you've been working on?
I think I've just been, this is kind of like in the bigger picture of just like on the journey of like being myself more, and not like having those like, I guess, blockers that I have, like internal blockers of like my personality or how, whatever. I think that like just being my genuine self as much as I can will attract people that like also feel the same way, I guess, and are on like the same like wavelengths of energy.
Absolutely.
And I think I think just like being my genuine self, I've learned, is very important, because it'll bring the things that I genuinely like in life and genuinely want to do. And I think that like kind of conforming to social norms and all of that, like I used to do that in the past a lot, and I've learned that like it's not the things that I like to do, but like other people like to do it. So I've like done that as well, but it doesn't bring that true joy and happiness, I feel like. And I think just like doing the things that you genuinely love, that's where you find that true joy and happiness.
Absolutely.
So I think that's definitely one thing I've been striving towards, I guess. And I guess running, that's more of a physical thing. I used to I was running a lot more consistently like before summer, and then I would go with my friend, and then he got hurt, and then I kind of stopped running more. And it's just been hard for me to get back into it. I know it's something I'll never lose, but it's hard to stay consistent with it, I guess.
Totally.
But
and like being gentle with yourself when you're like working on it, because like you still do show up for yourself every day, and just like taking it day by day. I know we were like kind of talking about it in an earlier episode where another peer here was like talking about how she's like a cross country runner, and like having like not stressing herself out to like do the best and be perfect when it comes to running. Just like even running a lap is an accomplishment.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the small, no matter how far you go, it's an accomplishment. Like that's how I like to think of it, because like some days I'll be feeling better and run 5 miles, and then some days my legs aren't feeling it, I'll run 2 miles. And I try to practice thinking to myself like, hey, I'm out here and I'm still doing it, and that's still improvement. Even if it's a smaller improvement, it's an improvement. And I think that's a way that I've practiced looking at it instead of the length or whatever.
And that's an amazing mindset to have, especially for something like that, because every day is going to be different, and that's okay. Like, what's something you would say to Ant like right now if you were here?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If he was here, I would probably say that I love him and miss him, obviously. I'm focusing on trying to better myself, and I know that he's like watching. I know he's watching down, and I'm just trying to be the best fit for myself and make him proud as well, because I know he had a lot of the same values and same goals that he wanted to accomplish. And I think that by me accomplishing them, I don't know, it makes me feel happy knowing that like he wanted to do the same thing, so I can do it for the both of us. And I would just tell him that we're in this together. So
it's really beautiful.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you guys
for the Endurance Show Team Voices. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Endurance Show. If this conversation moved you, please follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. To view the conversations, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And to be a part of the community, follow us at Endurance Movement. And lastly, if you feel called to support the movement and help us ensure no teen ever feels alone again, visit endurancemovement.org to learn more, and if you can, make a donation. Together we can create lasting change, one conversation, one connection at a time.